I've been watching all the Tyson fights through the years, and yeah, definitely the word animal comes to mind, uh, especially in his 20s. Well, even earlier than that, in his 17s. Um, he was an animal. He was a self proclaimed animal because when he lost that animal um, quality in his 30s, um, I forget who he fought. It was after one particular fight. Mike got beat, and he said that was it, his last fight, and then he retired. But anyway, what I want to know, and I hope that my project gets so big that Mike Tyson actually sees my project and hears this audio recording. Um, First of all, way to be um, so creative, so experimental, so hardworking, so passionate about the art of boxing. I love boxing. I've always loved boxing my whole life. I've always connected with it. I'm not a physical person. Um, UFC, some of it I can't watch, man. I just can't. But boxing and wrestling is just not my thing. I mean, I grew up with Hulk Hogan and going to the fights and having the rubber dolls in my bathtub and all that stuff. But boxing, I just always really admired, just for all different reasons. I see that these people. Um, I never saw it. That's why I'm making this recording, because I never saw it as the fighters are out to kill the other fighters. And Mike was like the first one that I saw. Well, Ali, obviously. But just specifically talking about Mike, or as Robin Quivers called him, Michael. Robin Givens. Sorry, Quivers. I love you. Baba Booey. What's up, Howard? I got you in my project, Howard. I got a few videos of you. Um, I mean, Howard is basically just like Mike. You know, we're talking about innovators, experimental people on the forefront of their art, changing the game, changing the way we see the game, changing the way the rules are in the game. Everything's just being changed. I mean, Mike would make punches after the bell. Mike would headbutt. He would try to break arms. I mean, whatever the fuck your opinion is, doesn't matter. That's what he did, and it changed the game. And he was the best at it. So I want to know, the animal instinct. I understand. I completely get. Like, we all have that in us, and some are stronger than others. Now, when you say animal, are you referring to a lower quality of human, of species? Is that how people view that word in the context that we're using it? Do people see Mike as an animal in a cage? Is he a lesser of a person? Is he to be studied and in awe of, because of his unique ability to be in touch with his ancestral creatures from millions of years ago? Is that the animal that we're talking about? Because that's the animal that I'm talking about. I'm an animal in a cage. If you look at any of my other videos or recordings, everything's about me being an animal in a cage. I haven't left my studio in years. I have no contact with the outside world. I talk in my own language. I move around my studio in my own way. I have no regard for your time frames, your TV shows, your pleasantries, your royalties, your armies, your bombs, your conflicts, your advertisements, your money markets. I'm just a complete 100% animalistic creature. I'm a being. I'm connected to my lineage from the early humans and the Homo sapiens and the monkeys, and the animals that lived in trees. That's what I connect with, and that's what I say when I say Mike was an animal. And if you construe that in a negative way and you use it insultingly, which has been done a million times and said about Mike a million times that that he is an animal. He is out of control. He's out of his head. How they describe him when he's boxing or when the ringside reporters are talking about Mike, they are using these terms. They are saying that when Mike, bit Holyfield's ear, they were saying things like he's out of control and he is not respecting or regarding any rule of boxing right now. He's completely just destroyed all rules and laws of how you're supposed to act in a boxing rink, in a match. Everything that you agreed to before you touched gloves is all wrapped up in that. It's how you conduct yourself. You're not going to hit below the belt, right? The fucking announcer always says, or the referee always says, "Hey, this is the line." He'll point to Buster Douglas's belly button or something like that, and say, "Yo, this is the line for both of you. This is the line. You don't go below this line." You obviously nobody, respects the line. Everybody, especially Mike, tries to get some low blows in there, and the line is all based upon how high you jack up your shorts too. You see some of these guys fighting Mike, and they just jack their shorts up to their nipples to try to, get that line as high as they possibly can. But it doesn't matter. Mike just destroys them all. But anyway, the animalistic force that Mike had. I'm like talking out loud when I'm watching these fights. I'm like, oh my God, whoa. Holy shit. I can't believe he just did that. I can't believe he just did that and that and that. Oh my God. It's just like, I'm like in shock and awe, through the entire fight. It's just like watching Picasso make a painting. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Like I said, I have a lot of respect and love for the art and the game of boxing. So I don't see things that maybe Mike has done, illegal or outside of the bounds of what you're supposed to do in a boxing match, the rules you agree to. I don't really see things as being totally wrong. Obviously, biting someone's ear is not cool, but I don't see things as being totally wrong because it's all part of a boxer strategy, and a boxer is allowed to use the rules, the laws. Look how Ali used the ropes. Ali used the ropes, obviously rope-a-dope, and he would use it all the time for his competitors, and they couldn't do anything. He would just have his back on the ropes the whole fucking fight and just say, "Here you go, punch me, tire me. You're gonna get tired out," and they all did. And he used the ropes as his strategy. So you can do whatever you want, and I have no problem with low blows and punches after the bell. It's all part of the game. It's all part of the intimidation factor and the we're at war. But I never really saw in any boxers that I've watched. I've watched the Ali fights recently. I've watched the Tyson fights. I've never really seen a boxer really want to kill their opponent. Like, even watching Mike, you could say that Mike has that "I want to kill you" kind of mentality, and he even says that he does have that, and he does do that. He is trying to really hurt this person. But again, it's warfare. It's a game. It's who plays the game the best. It's not just about punches, man. It's about everything else other than punches. And Mike understood that. He was in the best shape. He had the best upper body strength. He had the best lower body strength, which gave him the bounce and the leverage to be able to deliver his blows. As one competitor said, I forget who it was, they said, getting hit by Mike Tyson is like a mule kick. He's like, that's how bad every punch is. Can you people imagine getting kicked by a mule 100 times, in a row? What? These people are insane. They have a death wish, man. But anyway, so Mike knew, but he knew his power. He knew what he can do. And that's what gave him his courage, his pride, his ego, his narcissism, his ability to be the champion, because you can't be the champion like Ali unless you have courage and strength and pride and ego. And Mike and Ali obviously had the razzle dazzle. They captured their crowd. They captured the world. Mike Tyson said that he thought he was famous in America until he went to Japan. And when you go to Japan and you realize how famous you are in Japan, you then realize how famous you are. He said, my goal was never to be super, super famous. He said, my goal was just to be the heavyweight champion of the world. And to become the heavyweight champion of the world, Michael had this fantastic animal instinct in him that very few fighters have. And in order to be a successful fighter, you have to have that. And once Michael lost that, and he lost it, and he said he lost it. He said, I don't have it in me anymore. He says, I have kids now, and I'm focused on my family and my children, and I just don't have the killer instinct that I used to have anymore. And once it's gone, he's like, it's no big deal. It's my time is up, and I got to focus on other things. And he did that beautifully well. He created an amazing, legendary estate for himself and his family. I mean, it's just mind-blowing what he's done for himself financially after boxing. Because when Michael was losing some fights and was biting ears and doing all kinds of bad stuff, they were concerned about his marketability. Were the fans going to stick with Michael because Michael was doing some really bad stuff? Were the fans going to, were people, is he going to be marketable? Can he get fights anymore? Is he going to lose his license? All these kinds of things were going on for Mike at the time. And so not only did he surprise everyone by keeping himself in the forefront and in the media and in the news and in fans' hearts and minds, and everyone was just mesmerized by this guy all the time. It's just like Ali, just mesmerized by these people. They are just greater than humans. They are far beyond human. They are superhuman in every way. Their training is insane. Their physical capabilities and abilities is amazing. I mean, look at Mike Tyson. The guy, nobody knows his true height. They give him 5'11" and a half. And he's put into a box with some of the shortest boxers of all time, and of course, definitely the shortest world champions. I think, there was so there's some others anyway. So you see when you watch Mike's fights, you see him go against some of these guys. The average boxer is 6'2", 6'2" and a half. And so the average boxer is going against Mike. He might not even be 5'11" and a half. He says everybody tells him that his that he's shorter in person when they meet him, that he's shorter in person. So who knows what his true height is? But you put him in a rink, 5'11" and a half, and he's going up against these guys that are over 6'2". Their reach is 3 times the reach of Mike's. And you see this kid go just inside their bodies, unload these mule kicks on their face, head, and bodies, one after the other, nonstop. Mike has insane energy. He at least in his early ages, he wasn't getting tired, and he was just unloading. But I mean, he wasn't going many rounds. Nobody could last with him. They couldn't last more than 4 rounds. I think his longest fight when he first started out was like 4 rounds. These people couldn't last. Mike was just too powerful. But that's his animal instinct. That's him being an animal. That's him, fighting like an animal. And so when people are like, "Oh, he bit his ear," or "Oh, he punches after bells," or he twists arms and does all these horrible things. Yo, man, he's a warrior. He's at war. Like, I'm at war. Like I've said in my videos before, if a cop comes to my door, I don't answer, because if I do and something goes wrong, I'll fucking attack a cop. Like that's Mike's mentality. That's the mentality you need to have if you want to be a superstar at your art or craft or game, whatever it is you're playing. I'm an artist. I make paintings. I need to have that animalistic drive, that connection with paint and the canvas and my art. It all needs to be made by a fucking animal. That's just my experience. That's my life. That's my art. So I understand the animal. When I talk to people on the phone or on telehealth video, These people are just like, what the fuck? This guy's completely out of his fucking mind. You know, I just use the F bomb, the N word, the C word, every other words in my sentences. I don't talk like you do. I don't think like you do. I don't live like you do. I don't act like you do. I don't do anything like you people do. You people are all connected to the grid. I'm off of it. So I understand the animal. I act like an animal. I live like an animal. I paint like an animal. I eat like an animal. I just grab food wherever it is and just put it in my body whenever I can. And so the point of this was for Mike Tyson. If you listen to this recording, Mike, I just want to know. You don't have to explain anything to me. I watched your fights. I've listened to your words. I get it. I just want to know when you are feeling like an animal and you're punching in the eyes, right? Or punching through the skull, probably. But I know that that some fights you punch in the eyes specifically. When you're reaching down for your right hook and you're going for those eyes and you see the opening and your animal instinct kicks in and it forces you to charge, just you don't think about it. You just snap, you just charge, you just go. It's just force. It's just energy, leverage, and force. But that's animal. But what I want to know is, are you ever thinking about anything when you're going full animal? Because you talked about if you haven't been on the streets, begging for change, I think you said that when you lost the animal, you just weren't that person anymore. You just lost that hunger. But I don't know if you said that you lost that person. I might have gotten that wrong. But I know you said that if you don't have that, if you haven't been on the streets, if you haven't begged for change, if you haven't lived that life, that difficult life, then you can't be a good boxer. I think you did say that. I agree with that 100%. But I just want to know, are you thinking about any of that stuff when you're connecting? When you're reaching back and getting that leverage and about to go animal in a split second, are you ever thinking about the struggle? Are you ever thinking about your family problems or your financial problems, or you maybe getting beat up on the playground by some bullies, and you didn't have the boxing skills back then, and you were maybe a smaller guy, or you saw some things in your neighborhood, some things with gangs and you had to maybe participate in some of that stuff. I mean, just downright absolute lowest possible denomination of how human beings live and act is basically what you experience. And I myself have experienced that as well in my life. And that has definitely given me the composition. It's given me the, the ability to be on that animal level, because I do have that difficulty, that stress, that grime, that grunge, that down dirty street gutter, just where you're getting disrespected by everybody. Nothing you're doing, is going to get you out of where you're going, and you got one option and one option only, and that's to fight your way out. And I saw that, and I knew that I could paint my way out, and that's what I did. But I want to know if you're ever thinking about anything when you're connecting, man. When you're reaching back, when you're snapping, it's animal style, it's go time, it's 1 second punch. Are you thinking about any of these things? Or is it strictly your brain is cleared, your mind is cleared, you're just simply just acting on energy and training and behavior? You've done it so many times in that same situation that you're just reacting to training and responses from your body, where you actually sometimes, taking your life issues or a particular situation, maybe, you had a difficulty with a bully and you're thinking about that bully as you're punching this guy in the eyes right now in this heavyweight match. Is any of that going on? Because I find that for me, as I'm connecting and painting and connecting with the canvas and the painting, and I'm in my animal and I'm just doing it, I'm going for it, in that exact split moment, there's not really that much thinking going on about any of that stuff. The stuff becomes you. It becomes your DNA. It becomes your training, your body, your response time, your thoughts. Everything becomes your life, your upbringing, your coming up. But I just find that for me, when I'm in the animal and I'm making these paintings, the beauty of it all comes from the synergy, the harmony, the connecting, with the canvas, with the art, with the style, with the experimentation, having fun, all those things. And I'm going hardcore just like you. I'm throwing everything as hard as I can at the canvas. I'm working for days. And, and that's my training and all that sort of stuff. But I just find that, like, I'm not really thinking about one particular scene or one particular moment in my life. It's just that all of those moments come together as one thing, and I just use that as my animal, as my motivation for animal. It's just naturally my thought in that moment is my life's difficulties, and it all just comes together and is used as leverage for me to go at that canvas with that heat. Sometimes when I'm painting, of course, I am using personal experiences when I'm more calm and more mellow, and I'll make paintings about, buildings, cities and cars, and make write words in the paintings about, bipolar and personal experiences and stuff like that. That's when I'm not in harmony and synergy. That's when I'm just kind of more mellow. I'm making paintings. I'm thinking about things, feeling and experiencing things, and I'm doing that. And I'm sure that's how you are when you're training or when you're in your fights, just throwing out some hand candy, doing some roughage, some messing around, some jabs, some playing around, grabbing, hugging, holding, stepping back, making some footwork, and maybe you are thinking some things about your, life experiences in those moments, because you have a moment when you're doing those things to be able to actually think for a second, right? Because you're recollecting yourself, you're regathering yourself, you're doing your footwork, you're positioning yourself for the next move, the next round, whatever. So I do want to know if when you do have a split second to think, to try to retrieve some animal from your life experience in your brain bank. When you have those moments of just kicking the feet around and playing around with the other component, that's all part of your art. Everything, I see it. You're moving around, everything you do, everything you look at, everything you see, everything you say, it's all part of your art. It's all part of the masterpiece that is the fight. So I want to know if you have moments in your painting, in your fight painting that you're making, that you're creating, you're painting that beautiful masterpiece that we all watch and we see. The beauty in everything that you do. It's all beautiful and masterful. Are you thinking about these negative life experiences when you're kicking around the canvas? And are you thinking about, oh man, yeah, I remember that time I was bullied and how horrible it felt that you didn't fight back because you couldn't. And now you want to take that and you want to fight back right now. And you want to fight, this guy is your bully now. You see this guy mentally as your bully, and so this next round you're going to take care of him like he was your bully. I'm just wondering if things like that are actually happening with you, because I need to do more of that. I need to do more of me taking my life experiences and happenings and all the negative stuff and all the dirt and gutter that I saw and putting them into my paintings to make them even more genuine, even more rich, even more real, even more raw, even more animal. Love you, Mike Tyson. Thank you for all you did. Every single moment of your training, every single moment of your hard work, every extra effort that you put into everything you did, it's a masterpiece. It's one of the most beautiful paintings this world has ever seen. You have changed the game. You have changed the world. And people like me who are not even boxers, who just love the art of boxing, get to watch you and experience your performances and actually learn from you and grow myself, meaning grow my art, and become a better artist and produce better paintings, what I've learned from you. Love you.